Listen, I've taken thousands of photos all over the world. Wait, hold up, what are you doing? All over my hometown. I've taken some bangers, which is the essence of capturing a photo containing not only the personal accomplishment of taking a dope photo, but also the potential of receiving thousands of pointless likes online.
Yo, now that's fresh and all, but you wanna know what I have taken more of? Bad photos, man. Not every single photo that I take is a banger, unfortunately. And truth be told, of every banger that you've seen from me, there's probably 10 to 50 pictures that didn't even make the cut, but they all look basically the same. Why is that? You freaking take photos. Duh. Are you a freaking idiot?
Idiot.
Napoleon Dynamite reference? Go take pictures of basically anything.
You can take pictures of Toy Story, Spider-Man, underwater, or anime, doesn't matter. But remember, don't ever delete any photo off of the camera.
If you're shooting on an iPhone, you don't gotta worry about this, but the first thing you do is you drop all your pictures and you gotta go into what I would like to call rate and review mode. And for the record, before anybody say anything about my mama, I'm using Lightroom, not Lightroom Classic, because I'm living in the future.
This technical phase is where you weed out all the ones that are technically wrong. Also, I suggest to use the Z button to flag everything because it's gonna be a lot faster.
Now, exposure is what we're looking for here. We wanna look to see if something is too bright or if it's too dark. If there's too much white, that ain't right. Now, this is all dependent on your camera and how far you can push it. So this part, I'm gonna leave it to you. It doesn't matter how dope the picture is, if it's not properly exposed, get it out, take it out.
Yeah, check it out. Wow.
That was an impromptu Blue Streak reference. Focus and motion blur is next. You gotta be sure that whatever the focus is of your image, that thing is in focus. Look at this picture. My eyes and my body may be out of focus, but this is not the focal point of the picture. Whatever is the most important part, make sure that it is sharp as can be. Also, you don't want any unintentional motion blur. I'm crazy critical about this. I legitimately zoom into every person's eye just to make sure that it is totally sharp. If they're not, rejected.
And on to phase 2, which is I like to call the awkward phase. You know when you're in middle school, you look really weird? Yeah, this is that phase, bro. Now, you gotta look at your subject or the main thing or person in the photo. Does the subject have an awkward face or are they in an awkward position? Especially when shooting groups of people, look at each person's face to make sure that they look decent. You know how you look at a photo and you just look at yourself first? Yeah, everyone does that. So you as a photographer need to look at every single person's face in that group of people. Look if anything is in the way, like a branch or something, or maybe something in the background that is sticking out of someone's head. And a huge thing that I'm looking at is, are any limbs cut off? I see way too many beginner photographers doing this. Always shoot a little bit wider. You can crop in post. Don't cut off people's body parts.
If you're interested in mastering the crop, you can let me know by hitting the like button or something, and I can make a video on that if you're interested. Otherwise, do what girls do to me and reject them. Whoa. Sorry, didn't know where that came from.
And on to phase 3, which is composition is everything. At this point, you probably have 10 to 15 photos to choose from, and this is where you gotta be ultra critical. Generally speaking, this is where you see slightly different body positions, a couple of color differences, slightly different lighting scenarios, and sometimes you even got people in the background.
All right, I'm about to sound very cliche right now, but it's deep, I promise. I ask myself, does every detail in this image tell the story that I want? I'm not trying to make this sound fancy. Story doesn't necessarily mean that it's like a narrative. It just means to get into the mind of the picture. Think of it this way. Imagine if this photo is the last photo in existence of whatever you're shooting. Does your photo do it justice? Watch this.
Meet Anthony. He's constantly my model if you haven't figured it out yet. Look at all these photos closely and pause if you have to. This one looks like he's running away. I don't want that vibe. This one, he's off center. Yeah, I don't like that. This one, he's in the center, but I can't see his face. That just takes away the identity of the subject. And this one looks cool, but his feet are cut off. And we already know that we don't cut off limbs here. But this one, he's in the center, we can see his face, no limbs are cut off, we can see his feet, he is flying through this picture effortlessly. That's what I wanted. This right here is the winner.
Just remember, you want it to have S-T-Y-L-E. Style. Blank check reference, guys. It's a blank check reference. And if it got no style, reject it. Oh yeah, if you liked any of the edits or any of the tutorials and tips that were in this video, feel free to click in the link in the description down below. That is my website. You can get your hands on any of the presets as well as some of the mini courses that I have for sale.
So at this point, you probably have 3 to 5 pictures left or so. Pick one is what I like to call it. Now I know you're attached to these final photos. I've been there, trust me. But remember,
people become attached to things because they feel that they were never going to find what they have again. But you and I are legends in the making, meaning that you and I can go out and get more bangers whenever we want. We're a relentless banger catching community. Whoa, that's a bar. You'll probably still post all 3 of those pictures that you're left with because you're attached to them. But let me tell you this from experience. Nobody cares. Nobody is looking as closely to your photos as you are. Think about it. Your audience has no idea that these last photos even exist. Shoot, edit, select, and repeat. Experience makes a master, not likes on a photo. Another bar, man, I'm on a freaking roll. If you haven't picked up on it, this channel is in a completely new phase. So give me some feedback in the comments, and also hit me up on Instagram @KeyboardKing, and I'm making an effort to respond to every single DM. I might regret that later, but I am trying, as well as be involved in future videos because they're the ones that get the first look of anything that I'm working on. And if you like the threads, you can go ahead and check out Cuts Closing for the best tees in the game. And don't forget to subscribe because if we reach Peter McKinnon subscribers, I'm gonna make him my personal photographer. Catch you guys on the flip side.